2. Holy cow. It was either Twitch or my internet. The world will never know, so I'm going to choose to blame Twitch. Can we? Sight and sound are good. Thank you so much, Doc. We will get this party started. 1, thank you guys for your patience as I pinged the entire server and then failed you all and then pinged the entire server and we're back again. Hello and welcome to the Symphony. Symphony Entertainment Gaming and Arts is my gaming company that focuses on horror games, horror systems, indie games, organic content, and player agency in an attempt to bring a symphonic approach to horror role-playing. I am your host, Bridgett Jeffries, but I am not your GM. We are back with episode 2 of a series of 5 of Public Access, published by The Gauntlet. These are streaming live here on Twitch every other Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. So if you haven't seen episode 1, go holler at Symphony's YouTube channel. Go watch that. I think it's still on the Twitch too. And then this is going to be episode 2. Only one quick announcement. Symphony Entertainment does have a Patreon. So if you like this content and you would like to help us make more of it, please consider backing us on Patreon like everyone on this call is doing, which love you guys so much for the backer cast. You can see your perks and all the fun, sexy things that come along with being a Symphony backer at patreon.com/Symphony Entertainment. Now, without further ado, and I'm moving fast because Nate tells great stories. We have him on a very limited time frame and we're starting 15 minutes late, 20 minutes late. Without further ado, let's unveil this cast. Cast members, please tell us who you are, what you do, where people can find you. And then Doc, you're in the chat right now. Give me the question that everyone on chat has to answer for tonight. And we are going to start with Miranda.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
I'll just start and I'll catch up. Hey, I'm Miranda. Happy to be back with Symphony for Public Access. You probably know me from the Old Ways podcast, or you maybe have caught me on a couple of the Miskatonic Playhouse streams. And coming soon, Roll Better, which is me and Nate's podcast, which we just recorded our first episode. It might not be out for a while, but things are happening at least. Favorite type of indoor plant?
That's
okay,
it.
No, that's cool. Bromeliads. You know, they look like this. I buy them only so my cat can eat them. And if they're on clearance, I buy them as a snack for my cat. She devours them. Otherwise, I cannot keep a plant alive.
Bromeliad. That's a good one. That's actually a really good question, Doc, by the way. That was super dope. Tiffany, hit us, baby. Tell us who you are, where people can find you, some of the things that you do, and your favorite type of indoor plant.
Hi, I'm Tiffany. I also was on the Old Ways podcast. I did Masks of Old Gnarly because I can never say the full name because I can't do it. Anyways, I am currently in my art studio. I have great art things happening this year, so hopefully my website will be up soon. I am on Etsy at Color Cat Designs. And my favorite indoor plant is one that I cannot kill, so usually not an actual plant.
Okay. Yep. Yep. Nate is forcing me to do introductions on my own platform. So, hi guys, my name is Bridgett. I'm the owner of Symphony Entertainment. You can find me anywhere on the internet on a whole bunch of other people's platforms and Kickstarters as I do actual play performances and a crap ton of writing. For news and my CV, you can check that out all at symphonyentertainment.com. My favorite indoor plant is the Monstera Delicioso, which I know for a fact Tiffany already knows this because I actually commissioned one of her skulls with the Monstera leaf on it. So what I'm going to do is when we go on break right before our talk back, I'm going to go downstairs to my den and get it, and then I'll show it to you guys in a talk back because this is gorgeous skull with bedazzled eyes with the Monstera Delicioso leaves over the head. It's my favorite indoor plant, and I haven't managed to kill 2 of them that I have right now, and that's saying a lot. Nate, tell us who you are, what you do, where people can find you, and your favorite indoor plant.
Hell yeah. I'm Nate Hughes. I'm your friend Nate on all the Discords all over the place. I'm also a cast member on the Old Ways. Love my time here at Symphony. Got this podcast that Miranda mentioned, all that good stuff. My favorite plant, I got 2. One is the old jade plant that my mom used to take care of. Mm-hmm. And then she'd take the cuttings from and she'd replant, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And she moved down to Florida. She planted it down there. It just kept going big. So huge. In terms of myself, I'm with Tiffany. I think maybe this one. This one here is one of my favorites, $3 from Amazon. or maybe this one. This one also might be my favorite. I think this is like $4.99 from Amazon. Yeah.
How are you managing to kill fake plants, Nate? That's impressive.
I don't even try to keep anything alive. And so I live with death. Bridgett.
Okay. And then you're going to go ahead and do that in the vodka too. Great. Thanks so much. I love you, Nate. Guys, per usual, content warnings have been discussed with the cast and crew. The X card is in play. X's can be sent via private message to Nate in our shared Zoom chat here, or you can do it visibly where the world can see. If any safety tool is activated, there is no judgment passed. There are no questions asked. Per Symphony rules, we will also be using the green, yellow, red traffic light method, which can be called by any cast member or any chat member at any time. And without further ado, guys, welcome back to Lights, Camera, Action, written and run by your friend Nate for public access, published by The Gauntlet, episode 2. Damn, I got that out smooth. Look at me.
That was a lot of words.
I know, boo. Let's get it.
It's exclusive just for Symphony. Who we got here? We got Megan, Jordan, Crystal.
Yeah.
Since none of them, except for Tiffany, who's my favorite, changed their name up in the Zoom, I'm just going to have to try and keep track of that. But Megan, Jordan, and Crystal, we met them last time 2 weeks ago. Visitors hanging out, vacationing in Deep Lake, New Mexico. Fans and friends online that decided to spend a summer investigating the mystery of the disappearance of TV Odyssey, the TV station in Deep Lake. While they were there last week, they got a letter delivered. Letter from a lawyer. Anyone remember this lawyer's name? I totally remember the lawyer's name, but anyone else?
Hold on. It was Jenna Holt.
Jenna Holt, sister of Aaron Brooks.
Yep.
And Jenna, very worried about her sister, Aaron Brooks, who had gone into Deep Lake with a production crew, to do a documentary. And she hasn't been able to get in contact with her sister for a little bit. One of those kinds of sisters where they call frequently and talk on the phone, like because they want to, not because they have to. So like one of those kinds of relationships. So we're role playing, so we can make up anything we want in this world. So I'm making that up as if that is a thing. Everyone got to meet each other. Everyone sort of got a little situated, has gotten situated in the rental house. Last time we saw Crystal discover some sort of weird devices that were wired through that rental house.
Yeah.
The three of them also decided to go check out the only motel in town, the only action in town, at the Starlight Motor Lodge. Had a little run-in with the clerk up front, Daniel, who is head over heels in love with Megan Winters. And Daniel was very helpful in providing information about all the folks in the place, which he should never have provided. That's an absolute transgression of privacy, safety, security, but Daniel didn't care. It was all hearts and stars in his eyes. While you're walking to your room and checking out some of these rooms that you found the documentary crew had rented, curtain twitched, knocked on the door, made entry into Derek. I don't think you got his last name, but his last name is Vasquez.
Made entry into Derek.
Made entry into Derek's room. And where we left off, three of you in the room, and as the way I picture it, you just walked into the room. Maybe the door's even still open. Three of you walked in. Derek's sitting in the chair next to. No, are you saying
no? Because I went around back to make sure that he didn't run out of the back.
I thought you called
no,
back
but
up
we
with
yeah
him.
no because I called everyone
back up.
Oh yeah.
But we didn't all just like walk in together.
Where I'm picturing we are right now, you're all in the room, as I believe is the case. I'm not trying to create anything here.
I will accept my punishment for this later.
Miranda falls through a hole in the ground, dies. So sorry, Jordan. We'll pick you up later, maybe episode 4. No, you're in Derek's hotel room. It's this classic motel room that I think all of us have probably been in if we've done any traveling in the great United States Midwest. You walk in, there's a little side table to the left. There's that double bed. There's the sink and the mirror up front. There's the bathroom behind the door, either to the right or the left of the mirror. That's the big choice. That weird guy, the one that makes like all the weird, like the ribs in the hotel room, he is like those disgusting videos. That's this kind of motel. Derek has been here for a while. You can see there's clothes and stuff has been set out and lying around in the place. He sits down and he reaches over to that side table. He grabs I don't know if I said what kind of gun, but just think like a 38 small pistol revolver kind of gun. He starts to grab that and put that.
No, Nate, baby, no. Oh God!
And that's where we laid off. So take it away.
I immediately lunge for it. My nervous system is overactivated the second I see him reach for something, and I had in my head like maybe it's a knife or maybe he's trying to hide some paperwork. When I saw his gun, I immediately lunge for it, and I'm going to call out to him, Derek, no, please.
Well, then we are going to kick this off. Derek, who had that tattoo that you recognized, I think airborne, on his shoulder, has reached for a weapon. And you, Megan, the stranger that entered his room, has lunged for that gun. If you're going to go through it, this is a dangerous action.
Okay.
So a dangerous action in public access is called a night move. We got day moves and night moves. This will be a night move. Okay. It's something risky. And if you do not succeed, bad things can happen. Public access is a deadly game. Let's just get that. Everyone, Call of Cthulhu is so deadly. Public access is a more deadly game than Call of Cthulhu. Just so we have that out there. But this will be a night move. You go lunging for this gun. Derek is coming after it. Megan, what do you think is going to happen if you fail to gain control of that weapon?
I think my initial fear that if I fail to gain control of that weapon, there's two major fears happening with me right now. One, I'm the one that didn't do any type of screening before going into this room. I'm the one that said, oh, he seems friendly, he seems concerned, and invited these two other ladies in with me. This is my responsibility. This is on me. So my fear is if he gains access to that gun, not only is there going to be a power dynamic with just his bulk and his size, but now he has a weapon that can literally kind of like control these three women in this small room. That's not okay. That's my number one fear. My number two fear is if I go for this gun, that it accidentally discharges somehow and one of us gets hit.
I think it's worse than that. I think Megan's got this sense of responsibility, this sense of I'm protecting the group. If this goes wrong, Megan, worse than that, that gun's going to discharge. It's going to hit. Oh, let me roll randomly. Oh, Jordan, it's going to hit Jordan, and it will hit her right in the neck. And so now that I've told you how it is worse than you fear, which is the night move, you can choose to back down or go through with it.
Do it. I have to go through with it. We're already here.
Then let me go ahead and get a 2d6 from you.
Okay.
And I am going to ask you to... I think it's vitality or composure. So I'll let you choose if you're going to roll with vitality or composure.
Okay. I am taking a picture of what I just wrote on the 2d6 so I can post on the Symphony Discord later. I don't think it matters, but I will find the number. Let's go with, this is 100% going for vitality, which is a 0 for me, which brings my sum to a 4.
You lunge for the gun. Crystal, Jordan.
Turn a key.
Jordan, Crystal, you see Derek start in surprise, and then purely out of instinct, he goes to gain control and prevent that gun from falling into this unknown person's hands. You're all strangers. And now you can see that Megan has a sense of danger for you and her friends. Derek has a sense of danger for himself. He scrabbles at the gun. He's already sort of got a little bit of his hand on the trigger and on the handle, and it goes off. And there's a sharp sound, a miniature explosion, a hole appears in the wall right behind Jordan Briggs. And then Crystal, something hot and wet splashes into the side of your face as the artery that Jordan has had nicked by this gunshot starts to bleed heavily. And with each heartbeat, another spray. And Jordan, 3, 2, 1, you sink to the ground dead. Megan, Jordan is at your feet, a pool of blood spreading around her. And Derek stands up with the gun, wrenches it from your hand. He's pointing it at you, panicked. Unless you would like to turn a key. So public access has keys that each of the latch keys can turn. They are the keys of the child and the keys of desolation. The keys, you could turn them once. They each have a requirement, and they will change a dice roll up 1 level. So instead of this abject failure where Jordan is dead, you'll go up a level. It'll be a success mostly. There'll be some drawback or there'll be some sort of ramification, but it'll still be a success. Jordan will not be dead. Those are your options. You can let it slide and Miranda's character is just dead, or you can turn a key.
You are welcome to let it slide. As a point of question for this being like it's not really a one shot, but it's not a full campaign. Nate, do we have any restrictions on our keys? Because there are a lot of keys of the child and a lot of keys of desolation.
Yeah. So the normal campaign for public access is supposed to run a long time. You're probably talking 15, 20 sessions of 2 to 4 hour sessions. We're obviously not doing that. So each latch key has, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 keys. And the idea is you can turn 12 keys. The first 7 are sort of nice, and then they start getting hard. They start having negative ramifications as you are sort of spiraling into defeat and despair. But you're right, because this is just a 5 session, you're all sharing the same pool of keys. So if Bridgett wants to turn a key and you decide you want to turn a flashback showing how you were an outsider among your school peers, that key will be turned for everyone.
Oh.
Thank you for that question, Miranda.
Oh.
What are we doing here, Megan?
Turn it.
I have to turn it. And hold on. It looks like my video is frozen. So y'all stick with me for just a quick second. Which, if you look at the stream, it is absolutely amazing how stressed out my face looks right now in this moment.
Yeah, it is. It's intense.
It's amazing.
And everyone else's eyes are closed, which is the thing I love about it. Everyone's eyes are closed. You're stressed out.
I am beyond stressed out. Okay. All right. My video just repopulated again. Okay. So, fuck. Yeah, no, I'm turning a key, babe. But this turns the key for everyone. I've never used this mechanic before, so let's absolutely go for it. I'm going to go a flashback when I first discovered TV Odyssey. That looks fun.
Yeah. And so what I want you to do, go ahead and click that checkbox on all of the latch keys and the character keeper. We're going to hold that though. At some point soon, you're going to need to relate this flashback to the rest of us.
Okay.
A flashback to when you first discovered TV Odyssey. But right now is not the time. Because what this does is instead of failing the roll, you move up 1 level and now you have succeeded, but there's a complication.
Okay.
There's a cost. You lunge for the gun. Derek tries to grab the gun. His hand slips off because he really wasn't expecting this. And at the last moment, Megan, you think maybe he was just putting it away because it's a little bit intimidating because he wasn't trying, but you grab control of it, but your hand does squeeze the trigger, the gun goes off, and a hole appears behind Derek in the wallpaper. And he gets up, he's whoa. I was wondering if you were one of them, but now I'm.
Oh my God. Oh my.
What do you mean one of them?
Oh my God.
Megan, what are you doing? So,
no, I thought he was pulling a gun on us. I have control of the gun and possession of the gun, right? Okay. I am not aiming it at him. I am not pointing at him. I have my hand on the revolver, pistol. What do we have right now?
It's called a pistol.
It's a pistol. So we have our hand on. I have my hand on my pistol. I do not have my finger on the trigger. It is alongside of the barrel. It is down at my side with my other. So I am visibly trying to show him I am not trying to. Oh God. Is everyone okay?
No.
Are you guys okay?
Yeah. Check over my body and make. Yeah, but what do you mean? What do you mean one of them? One of who?
And he looks at Megan, and he looks at her holding the pistol, and he looks around. He doesn't answer you. He looks at you. He hears you. He says, what do you want from me? What do you three want from me? It's a robbery? What do you want? Hands up, but you can see him. He's on the ball of his feet. You can see him.
Megan,
ready.
I imagine that Megan is still in this, like, this tense thing just happened. And even describing, like, how your hand is and your hand's up, it still feels like a very tense, like, that still feels like a, even though it's supposed to disarm, I still feel like it's a alarming position to be in. Like, someone has a gun. Like, maybe, Megan, can we just, I don't know, put the gun somewhere else, like put it in a drawer or something so that it's not, like, just put it behind you. Just, it's gonna be fine, but like, he's freaking out, Megan.
Crystal is like frozen. I'm like just like looking around, like, I can't believe all the shit that has happened today. Are you kidding me?
Crystal just okay. Megan, maybe just put it, can we put it in a, is it okay, Derek? We put it in a drawer?
Is it okay? You're in control here.
No, we're not.
We're
not doing anything. We're looking for your crew. We're looking for Aaron.
Yeah, that's what you said. I heard you when you said it the first time. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And you're here and you're saying you're not one of them. So
where's the gun?
I'm going to lower my hand, taking the advice of Jordan. You know how like time slows in the middle of an event like this and then slowly, like, it very quickly revs back up? Like, I'm coming back online. I'm you know, my blue screen is dissolving. It's like, okay, so a loaded gun just happened or just went off in a room. The very first thing I need to do is step outside this door and just look around to see if anybody's coming this direction. This didn't look like it was a very populated hotel. I'm just going to peek my head out really fast to do just a quick, you know, perimeter check. And then if everything is okay, I'm going to shut that door. I'm going to lock it. And then I'm actually going to slip that pistol in the small of my back, directly beneath this like tight fitting tank top and the pants. And I'm going to look at everyone's like, can we please start over? Derek, sit down. We're not here to hurt you. We're just here to ask questions. You went for, I'm sorry. Can we start over?
Oh, we can do whatever it is you tell me you need me to do. As long as you have my weapon, I'm going to do what you say. He started to inch towards Crystal as he's saying this, though.
I'm actually looking around for devices in this room.
Smart.
Like what I saw in the house.
Okay. So in the middle of this scene, Crystal
yes, I'm like, well,
changes direction and it starts looking for, yes, okay, I got it.
Like she's like looking like in the corners and like things like that to see if there's other, like if there's like wires, like, you know what I'm saying? Like she has to like focus on something because this is like pure chaos. Like her brain cannot, like, yeah.
Here's what I'm going to say then, just to resolve this overall. Derek, looking at this situation, you've kept the gun. You've armed yourself with it. And in his mind, that's what you have decided to do. He is either going to run out that door or he's going to stay in the room.
Okay.
And whether he runs out the door or stays in the room is based on a composure or presence check by either Jordan or Megan. Crystal, give me a reason check while you go off and you start looking elsewhere in the room.
Makes the most sense since you have a gun for me to roll composure. Thoughts?
I love it. Let's go for it.
I'm trying to like calm. I just feel like I'm trying to like calm shit down, tell you to put the gun away.
Yeah.
Keep him calm. Yada yada yada.
I love it.
This is 2d6, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on, baby.
Mm-hmm.
We need a win.
2d6 plus your composure.
This is I've had one old fashioned. I almost called them 2 dizzle sizzles. So
2 dizzle sizzles.
this is a 2 dizzle sizzles.
Just the 2 dizzle sizzles plus
That's a 4 and a 6, which is a 10. Plus 1 is 11.
That's an 11. So that's a clean success. I think Derek, freaked out by Megan, is trying to figure out how to escape this unsafe situation. But Jordan was a calming presence. And also Jordan started immediately asking what he was talking about, them. And I think those two things, he stops jockeying his way over towards the door for a quick escape and run out. He calms down. He puts his hands down. He sits down in the chair again. He looks up. He says, now, I will say one, ma'am, that weapon actually has some significance to me. So I appreciate if you're not going to steal it from me, but yes, okay. I think this is a little bit of a misunderstanding. Weird things are happening, and I think you're as uptight as I am. Let's try and figure out then if we can help each other. If we can use, you said you were looking for Aaron. I'm worried about Aaron as well. I'm worried about my whole team. Okay, what is your friend doing? And Crystal, what did you do on your roll?
I got a 7.
Okay. And so you were looking around sort of the same places that you found in your room. So around the door frame and around the rental house, door frame and stuff. You don't find anything at all like that.
Okay.
But Derek's looking, and Jordan and Megan are sort of this arms standoff. Crystal has gone off into investigation in this one room. Is she okay? What's...
Yeah, she's probably fine. I think she's just looking, like you said, things are tense. There's weird things happening. I think she's just looking around because there was some weird stuff at our house or whatever.
He looks back at the hole in his, in the motel's wall. He sticks his finger in and says, yeah, things are definitely tense.
Weird. Yep. Yeah, weird for sure. No, Aaron's sister sent us a letter. Handsome Hanscom sent her our way.
Oh, she was talking to her every day. They had a thing.
I'm assuming you're the last person saw her alive.
Is she dead?
Well, no one's seen her. She's missing. So you're
That
the
doesn't
last
mean
person
she's
that saw
dead.
her alive.
Hey,
Okay, when you say that though, it sounds like you mean she's dead.
No.
I have a GPS here. Can you put in the coordinates of the cave?
Yeah.
Cave. I can put in the coordinates of the chute where the crew went out. Yeah, let me.
Oh, that's not at the cave?
Let me look at this. I told you I got out of there. I'm sure it is, but I didn't wait around.
Why? Did you get out of there?
Have you ever been to a place and you step into it and you immediately know that if you stick around, something bad's going to happen? Have you ever been in a situation like that?
Yeah, I mean, a time or two.
I've been in it a time or two as well. I really think I'm only around still because I listen to that feeling.
Yeah.
And I know that I've had friends, people that I was close to didn't listen to that, and they're no longer here. When I showed up on site, I'm just a production assistant and a PA. When I showed up, I felt that feeling. PA for a documentary is not worth my life. And so I left. I went back. I didn't quit. I didn't abandon him, but I told Lucas if he needs me, I'll be happy to do what he needs me to do from somewhere else. But it was quiet. It didn't feel right. The temperature wasn't right. It didn't even smell right out there. Everything about that place was off.
Yeah. I mean, that can happen out in spots where no one's at. I mean,
could. Oh, yeah, and he nods. He sort of laughs, like, "Yeah, I know." And maybe I look like a tough guy, but the
you look
toughest
like
thing is
tough
getting
guy,
away.
but she's gone. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
You were missing, and you were the last one.
And then, I mean, look at this. And he goes into his pocket, and then he looks up at Megan real quick. And he doesn't see you respond.
No, not at all. At this point, Megan's nervous system is coming down. So I'm probably like, you know how you squat on the back of the door where you're on like your tippy toes, your heels are on the back of the door. So like I'm in like a squatted position with my knees spread open. Like I'm low. I'm almost at eye level with where he is.
And then when he sees no reaction, he goes in and gets his phone. And then, I mean, look at this. And he hands you his cell phone, and he's got it open to a group message. And on the group message, you can see some names. And so the names that you see are Lucas, Maya, Simon, and Aaron.
Simon.
And there is a series of texts going back and forth between everyone. Lucas, Maya, Simon, Aaron. You notice that he's never sent anything. It's just them. It's a series of texts expressing increasing paranoia and fear. They never get into details, but they talk about, we all heard that. Did you hear that?
Oh.
And that, did it sound like a voice? There's just these short texts, and they're all from May 26th, 27th, 28th.
May 26th, 27th.
The last one is May 27th, about 10 p.m.
You weren't with them when they sent these.
No.
You were there, you left.
I took off, yeah. So we went out there the 19th, set up camp. I helped set up the Airstream. I was in the middle of getting some of the lighting and rig set up. And that's when I told Lucas I couldn't stay here. And I came back to the Motor Lodge. So I've just been hanging out here, going into town sometimes. They have a good taco place in town. So I've been going there. There's a library. But I haven't heard from either.
Yeah, I've been to Yokiro Taco.
Just to clarify time frame here, Nate, from the point that he abandoned the crew to today has been how many days?
It's about a week.
It's about a week.
Well, no, probably more. He abandoned the crew May 20th.
Okay.
Crew set up May 19th.
Like 2 weeks then.
He abandoned May 20th. It is June 6th today.
Like 2 weeks.
Okay. And the last text message you said came out was on the 26th and the 27th and the 28th.
The last text message is 10 p.m. May 27th.
Okay. Derek, it's been almost 2 weeks.
Do you hear that? Question mark, question mark, question mark. It's the last text message, and it's from whoever Simon is, the Simon person. And then nothing after that.
Yeah. Megan's right. It's been 2 weeks. Why are you're still here? Are you just waiting for them to come back and doing nothing?
he opens the blind and looks out, looks back at you, and yeah, but I thought I saw him after that a couple times. And I thought I heard him after that a couple times. I don't think it was actually them, but I thought it was. You know what I'm saying? And it just sort of like there's this countdown clock, someone's in trouble or not. And it just kept resetting that countdown clock because I would hear someone out in the parking lot. I'd look out, and it looked like Aaron and Lucas, like walking and having a conversation, maybe arguing or whatever. I never saw them in the room, but a few times I thought for sure that I saw them. And so you've got 2 capital C clues here. The first one is this series of texts.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to throw that in your character keeper, but a series of texts between crew members expressing increasing paranoia and fear. The second capital C, and I owed you that from last time.
Yeah, that was a holdover.
Clue
okay.
Is from the resolution of this experience and calming him down and everything like that. Crew members or people that appear to be crew members have been seen, but there's doubt that they are actually crew members. So those are your 2 clues that we're adding haunting to the mystery.
Hey, Jordan, can I see the can I see it? And like I'm reaching for it and I'm going to look. Can I see your phone?
Oh, yeah, here.
Just Nate really fast going through his call history. In the 2 weeks, has he done any outgoing calls to, I know he's not been texting. Has he done any outgoing calls to either Simon, Maya, Lucas, or Aaron?
You see that he has actually sent a few texts.
Okay.
To Lucas, Simon, and Aaron.
Okay.
And you see some outgoing calls to Lucas.
Okay.
Actually, you see a number of outgoing calls, not as many, but 21st, 22nd, 23rd, shortly after he left, you can see some calls, and there were several given on that day. And then right around, 27th, 28th, 29th, the calls slowed down, and you can see that they're unanswered calls. So he's got calls that were answered, and then they just go to the voicemail. Zero duration calls.
Okay. I'll hand the phone back to Crystal. I'll wipe down my face, trying to alleviate the pressure on my nervous system. It's like, so Derek, I'm not saying that I don't believe you. It's been a day for us too. I think there's some connective tissue that's not working for me right now. Help me see it. You're waiting on them to come back. Why are you so tense with us being in the room? Like, why did you say, are you with them? Are you like, I'm missing. You've been sitting here for 2 weeks waiting for them to come back. You think you've heard them, seen them, but you haven't had any direct contact with them. What are you so anxious about right now?
He thinks we're the people pretending to be them.
He thought we were more of the people that were them, he said.
Is that what it is? Help me see it, Derek. I just want to see it. My keeper just
looks at Megan and he says, I feel like I've waited too long here. And I feel like there's 2 things. One is crazy, and so I'm trying not to dwell in it. But the others, I feel like I let them down and gave up some kind of responsibility. I'm not the bodyguard. I'm not the muscle. Like this isn't Leverage. 2004 Leverage? I don't know if that TV shows. Let's see.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Definitely.
Oh God.
In our world. Yeah.
It was 2008, but
2008, but you know what? Foreshadowing.
2004.
Yeah. So that's not what I'm here for, but also none of them have had my experience, my life. They don't have my background. And I called him. I talked, I told Lucas over and over. Talked to Aaron. I talked to Simon a couple times. Get out of there. I'm not coming back. They called me silly. I mean, but since I stopped hearing from them and then I started seeing what I thought was them, the crazy thing is I'm starting to doubt that was them, but I don't understand. So I don't even want to admit it, but I don't understand. And I'm on edge because the last couple nights, late at night, I swear someone's coming to my door. Someone's whispering through the door at me. And when I get up, I feel like I see them through the curtain over here. And then when I go to the peephole, they're not. This place is driving me crazy. I don't even know. So yeah, I'm on edge. I've got my gun out like some sort of lunatic. You know what? I think all of you seem pretty decent. He reaches underneath that table and you hear a snap and he pulls out another gun. He puts it back on and he says, I've got myself loaded up here like I'm some sort of assassin for hire. Like both of my guns out, one hidden as if I've got maybe a day or two left before I got to get out of here. This place is driving me crazy.
Well, look, we're gonna be a couple doors down tonight. So if you hear them or see them, let us know. And we'll look with you. Because right now any thread we can pull on is one that's gonna help us.
Walks up, he looks over at his phone, writes on the little pad next to it, and then hands back to you, Crystal. He's like, well, call me when you get into your room. Let me know the phone number there. And yeah, I will give you a call. Megan, the smell of gunpowder on your hand from this fire, it's just, it keeps sort of flowing over you. Every so often you catch a big whiff, especially sort of leaning down and crouched in and making yourself a little small.
Yeah. And
it makes your stomach a little queasy. Has Megan ever fired a gun or is this a new thing or what? Is this a familiar thing for Megan?
This is familiar. I'm not going to say it's second nature, but maybe tertiary in a way. I'm in forestry. Rangers typically carry guns. I've gone hunting. I'm outdoorsy. This isn't new for me. Like, I understand trigger positioning. I understand, how to clean, break down a weapon. So this isn't new. What is extremely new is a misfire around a group of people and an accidental discharge in an occupied room. That's alarmingly new. And my lack of judgment for reaching in the gun in the first place is something I'll have to reconcile later.
And Derek looks at you. Is there anything else? I don't know about you. After all that, I'm feeling a little bit jumpy and tired. I think I might need some water, maybe a little nap.
Yeah, we've got some videos to watch.
Yeah. All right.
So we'll be up for a while if you need anything.
But we'll be just right down the way, so.
Yeah, call me, give me your number. I really want to say I'm not scared. I'm scared. And so if I do hear this, I don't want to open the door. I'd rather just call you.
Yeah,
okay.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
And there's something about this well-muscled, fit, trained, two-gunned person admitting, oh yeah, I'm afraid in this hotel room, that gives you pause.
Yeah, I'm ready to get out of this room. I'm going to stand to my feet. I'm going to reach, into my lower back with my right hand. I'm going to engage the safety. I'm going to turn the muzzle to face me, and then I'm going to hand that pistol back to him. I'm sorry.
Appreciate it. Thank you. He sets it down next to his other on that side table.
All right. I'm going to step outside. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But saying that this room is weird and we're going to the creepy room that no one is allowed to check out does kind of feel like going from the frying pan into the fire. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, he just said nobody stays there.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So
feels like for a reason, but yep.
Yeah, and something about housekeeping won't even turn the room down, so it should actually be
Dusty as fuck.
It's not that I disagree with you, because I absolutely agree with you. But at
no,
this point,
just an observation that I'm making here, Megan and Crystal, is that I don't think we're going to a safer place.
Yeah, but we're only 2 doors down from Derek.
Yeah.
It's just a room.
Yes, just a room. Nothing bad's ever happened in a room.
Well, I mean, sure, but like, I mean, are we entertaining the thought of ghosts for real?
Yes.
Right. Oh, right. You were horror movie. Yeah, today's been a day.
Yep.
We are not getting Blair Witched. Just don't stand in a corner.
Okay. I'm just saying that Blair Witch is still on the table.
Derek, get some rest, get some water. We're going to and I'm going to collect this group and try to herd us out.
Yeah.
As Jordan's like, I technically don't think the Blair Witch is a ghost, but it kind of is a ghost, but also she just lives for
rounds off the ghost. Is it really?
The Blair Witch.
And as he's closing the door, he says, just be careful. Whatever you all are doing, I don't know what you're doing, but just be careful. And then he closes the door behind you before you can respond.
Oh, I just look at the two at Megan and Jordan. I'm like, I don't know what we're doing either.
You know, in many horror movies, there's often like an older man that warns you at the beginning that to be careful, or it's like an omen or warning beforehand that something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah, but first of all, okay, we're all girls, so we could all be the final girl. First of all,
yeah, I love that.
Second of all, there aren't 5 of us, so usually it's 5 friends embark on an adventure. So I think there were 5 in the documentary crew, though. So let's hope Erin is the final girl.
But there's only 3 in the Blair, but that's neither here nor there. I think you're right. We'll be okay. We'll be fine. It's stupid. It doesn't happen. It's fine.
Let's go watch this video that only plays at night.
Let's escalate the bullshit here. Absolutely.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm going to slip my arms like around the shoulders of Jordan as we're like awkwardly duck walking forward. And I'm just going to like lean my cheek into her cheek, and I'm going to kiss her cheeks like, and look on the bright side. You know, in these horror movie formulas, the black chick always dies first. So you'll have a well-known warning if anything starts going wrong. And then I'm going to kiss her again.
But Megan, I'm not a virgin. So it could be me.
I guess we'll have to place our bets. Then I'm going to kiss her again and just continue pushing her towards room 14.
Wait, I'm the nerd. I might make it. As we open the door.
You would be the one that makes it. Yes. Yeah. But doesn't that also mean that you fall in love with Derek and like ride off into the sunset and then like see one of us in a mirror right before you and this is as we're turning the key and opening room 14? Because let's laugh at the situation that we're walking into head first.
You open up room 14, and each of you, Crystal, Jordan, Megan. Crystal first. What do you see about room 14? We're going to paint the scene a little bit. What do you see about room 14 that does give credence to what Daniel was telling you, that people hate this room, people don't stay in this room, housekeeping doesn't even like to clean it?
Was it me or Tiff first? I don't. All I remember.
Crystal, Jordan, and Megan.
Okay.
The TV is always on static and doesn't turn off.
Oh, God.
So in the room, the TV's on. There's a VHS, VCR. There's a VHS. There's a VCR right below it. And it's on static. And there's no sound. But also there's no remote control. And also the plug, the wire for the TV is not in the plug. The wire is sitting on the console table right next to it. Jordan.
There is a layer of dust on everything. No one has been in this room. No one has touched anything. There is, if you sit down on the bed, it's going to poof up around you. There is a layer of dust covering everything in this place.
And those of you that are more in tune with this know that most household dust is composed of dead skin flakes. And as a hotel room, motel room, this dust that lays across every surface is the remnants of whoever did spend the night in room 14. Crystal, you're still paranoid. Your eyes are still darting and checking, corners and curves, walls and doors. The dust lies evenly across this room, as Jordan said, except in one corner.
Oh, God.
And so that same, on the left is the side table and the chair where Derek had been sitting. Same thing in room 14, but in the corner behind that, you can see footprints in the dust, and they're standing in the corner facing towards that corner wall. There's no footprints leading to those tracks. It's just those two footprints staring into the corner. Megan, what do you see?
It's not so much what I see, it's what I hear. There is a steady, incessant dripping of water dripping from somewhere, but it's not coming from any of the faucets.
Yeah, you look immediately over to that sink over there, and there's no water falling. Maybe you even go and check out because it's loud.
Yeah, that drip.
All three of you can hear it. And you look in, and it's not from the bathtub. It's not from the shower. You look up at and it's got the acoustic tiles. Look up at the acoustic tiles. You don't see any water damage. Drip, drip, drip.
Do you guys think that's coming from behind a wall, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, this is an old place. This isn't. I mean, it could be any. This is not well kept. It's not well kept.
We're doing this to ourselves. It's okay. You know what? It's the middle of the day, right? Nate, you told me this was day still?
We're just psyching ourselves out.
It's mid-afternoon.
Fuck this shit. All windows are getting open. All curtains are being drawn. The front door is swinging open. Let's get some fresh air. Let's get some natural light. There's
a montage of us cleaning up this fucking ghost to death room. We're like airing out the sheets.
Yes.
Wow.
Banging the pillows outside the door.
Trying to plug in and unplug the TV. It's just going.
While they're doing that, I'm like, got my hand out to Megan, like, mail. Give me the mail package.
Oh, yeah.
Mail
and
me.
I'll hand that over to Crystal.
Brown envelope. It's addressed to room 14 occupants. No other name.
Well, that's us. So I open it.
Someone roll me a d20.
Ooh. You guys got it?
I know I didn't specify it was a 2d6, so
Tiff
hopefully someone has a
so
d20.
Yeah, I have a d20. Hold on.
Tiff, so I think Tiff opened it. I think that's her d20.
Oh, that's my d20? Should I use the one with snake skin in it? I have one.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. There it is.
If you roll a 2, just roll it again.
Oh, okay.
That's what you already have.
I rolled an 11.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, and you open it up and you see a VHS case inside, and it is purple, and it has that triangle logo on it. It is identical to the one that you had delivered to you at your rental house. You pop open the case, and inside is a VHS tape. There is a paper label on the spine of the tape, and in shaky old lady handwriting.
Aww.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep, I can see it immediately.
It says, "My collection."
Nope. 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 Nope.
So this is your second Odyssey tape. Your first is Affirmation 04. This one is My Collection. The handwriting is different between these two tapes.
Well, maybe we don't have to wait till nighttime for this one. So, like, I'm looking at the other two as I slowly, like, push it into the VCR.
Go for it. It's not going to hurt it, right?
And it makes that mechanical noise. It gets sucked into the VCR player. You can hear as the spindles engage, the tape is winding through the player. There's that noise, and the static goes away. And then the blue screen shows up. And in the corner, the upper right, blinking TO.
Uh-oh.
Just like the last tape.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so maybe it's only at night again.
Hey, question.
Yep.
This is to the girls, not to Nate. Because right
Good.
now, fuck Nate.
Okay.
Anyways. What time did the show come on?
Oh.
Do you remember?
Honestly,
Because I can't quite remember. I know, I think
No.
I stayed up way past my bedtime.
yeah, but I feel like I watched it all the time. Like I feel like I came home and maybe I watched it, or maybe that was something. I remember staying up late, but I don't know. I feel like I feel like all the time. It was there.
I was just
Waiting.
wondering if maybe if these tapes will only play when
It was
the
on
show was on.
at night, maybe.
Was it at night? I can't quite remember.
Well, I watched it at night. That's half the fun of being a kid is staying up at night and
Right.
watching
Sneaking up
stuff
after your
that
parents
you're
go to
not
bed.
supposed to watch, or when you first get a TV in your room and yeah, I'm going to bed, but you have the TV on as quiet as possible. And
right, and you sit really close. Yeah.
honestly, it's hard to remember those years at all. I remember the show. I remember we've talked about some things about the show, some sections that we like, but it's all in pieces. So it's hard, but
Megan,
it's on these tapes.
You remember when you first discovered TV Odyssey. If you would like to do your flashback now, it is a perfect time.
It's a terrible time to do it, Nate. The reason I'm not engaging with this conversation is because I'm working through too many conflicting memories or opinions about that particular question, which should be an easy question, right? When did the programming come on? I remember being at school. There was an incident that happened. I got really sick. No, I was bullied. No, because I had a fever. They picked me up from school, and I came home, but Dad was already, he couldn't, and Mom needed to get back to work. It was like one of those things she could just barely come and grab me on her lunch break enough to get me home, and then she had to go back to work. And I remember being at home alone. There's something about soup in the cabinet. I could put it in the microwave. That would be fine. But I remember laying on the couch. No, I was in bed. I was in bed. I was in bed. I was in my brother's. No, I was on the floor. Nate, it's just really hard to remember. I just remember the very first time I engaged with that programming, I wasn't feeling well and I had a fever. And I remember everything was burning up and everything was hot and I couldn't do anything to cool down. And I was pulling covers off of me. I was pulling clothes off me. And then I was pulling them back on. And I just remember staring at that screen I don't remember what I was watching.
You were hot, Megan, because you were embarrassed because they were making fun of you again for being so tall. Megan spider legs, Megan spider legs, Megan thunder thighs, Megan spider legs.
No, I had a fever, right? Maybe food poisoning, something from the cafeteria.
And you know that worked with your dad. Your mom never believed you, but your dad would, and would get one of your parents to pick you up, Megan. Yes.
Yeah.
And you remember the program, and it was that puppet show. And man, it was the chickenpox episode where one of the puppet kids got chickenpox. Do you remember, Megan? Because then the chickenpox kid, all the friends had to come over, spend the night with the chickenpox kid.
Shit, what did they call that? It was a type of gathering, disco, pox party, right?
Pox party. Mm-hmm.
It was the pox party.
It was pox party. Jordan, Crystal, Megan has retreated a little bit while you're having this conversation, and sometimes you can just tell like someone's shoulders are sort of creeping up almost to try and get over their head, and tense and muscles, and with Megan it's sort of obvious because she is so well muscled and tall and strong, athletic, and you can almost see the cords standing out on her neck, but she's not saying anything.
I like kind of backhand.
Bam!
The tap. Crystal. Megan, are you okay? Megan.
Yeah. What?
Megan.
No. What is it? What?
You okay? Is the dust getting to you? Do you need me to we need to go outside, go for a walk?
No, I'm fine.
Go to Yo Quiero Taco or?
No, I'm fine. I don't, Crystal, I don't remember what time the program, I know that it at least was on during 3rd, 4th, or 5th period in school. I can't remember anything outside of that. The last tape didn't play at night. I sent it through Crystal's handheld. That wasn't a night thing. That was just siphoning it through another form of I'm gonna go step outside for a second.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna go far. I'm gonna just just the threshold of the door, and then let's reground ourselves and just leapfrog over this moment and not actually address it.
Crystal, I hope she's not seeing missing people.
She sees the dead crew.
I don't know what to do if you both are insane.
Oh no, I'm saying I just really like movies.
Uh-huh.
Crystal's gonna be final girl.
Megan, I need you to take the condition fake fever.
Damn it.
Don't worry. I got you, girl.
Fake fever. That's disrespectful. Okay. Fake fever. Ouch.
And fake fever will have you possibly downplaying what you should be focusing on and making up a more rational, reasonable reason for what you are seeing in order to hide from it, to mask it, to not face whatever pain is involved with reality. And we're going to move into dusk. And the dusk phase, it's just a couple housekeeping things. For dusk, we would resolve any moves that are resolved during the dusk phase. We don't have any of those. You all, as the group, need to collectively decide if you're going to watch an Odyssey tape,
yes,
which is the only thing you're gonna be able to do, or if you're going to do night phase kinds of moves. So you're going to watch an Odyssey tape.
We're going to do the tape, yeah.
You may also attempt to answer a question if you'd like. You have one question. You have 4 clues.
Do we have 4 clues?
Yeah, let me see. You have the box crystal found, which emits a screaming noise. You have a series of texts between crew members. Oh no, you're right. You have 3 clues.
Our other clue was the IOU I put in there as a little place marker, and then that was the IOU, so it covered one. So we only have 3.
So you do have 4. We haven't resolved this IOU. We have 3.
No, you gave us the IOU. That was one of the seeing the crew or the text messages.
Yeah, the text messages was the holdover. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have 3.
Then you have 3. Never mind. You could still answer a question. You can answer a question when you have half as many clues as the mystery.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So you could also do that.
Nate, can we only answer the mystery at dusk? Or can we do it anytime?
You can basically do it anytime, but dusk is one time when we go in and specifically ask, hey, do you want to do this or no?
And if I sing another song, we'll get another clue. So
you don't have time.
No, not right now, but we will. But eventually it'll come up. I'm just saying.
Yep. No, that's exactly right. That's your latchkey move.
Mm-hmm. Continue.
All right. Then you all decide you're looking at this VCR. You're looking at this TV that won't turn off. You're looking at the 2 Odyssey tapes, and you make the decision to watch one of these Odyssey tapes in the Motor Lodge room where no guests will remain overnight. It's a very wise choice.
Just stack all the bad decisions. Go to room 14. Watch the audio tape at night, right in the same area that the ghost crew has been seen around. Let's do that.
And I don't know why Nate phrased it that way, that no guest will remain after night.
It's all Dan. That's what Daniel said. I'm just repeating what sweet Daniel said. Yeah, nothing, no foreshadowing, no anything. If you watch a tape here, which you're planning on, so this is a special location. You watch the tape will work out. As a result of watching a tape in Murder Room 14, Starlight Lodge Room 14, one of you will gain a condition of my choice, but also one of you will be able to declare another clue to your mystery. It has to, in some way, seem like it's related to what we just experienced within the Odyssey tape.
Okay.
Which you are going to build in this next phase.
Oh. So
Odyssey tapes are a meta part of this game. So it's an additional layer of public access. It's an additional layer of mythology for Deep Lake. The way it works, each Odyssey tape has a number of set prompts. I will lay out the prompt, and one of you will answer that prompt, and then there'll be another prompt, and then another prompt, and we'll build out what terrible thing we actually watched, because all of these shows are insane. They should not exist, yet unfortunately they do. And then once we watch that, it can or cannot impact your day-to-day as much as you want it to, and then later on as much as I want it to. But so this is either additional flavor and seasoning, or this can be key to what is going on. And it's all based on what you all pull together as we build this story out. You have a choice. You have 2 tapes. Which one do you want to watch? You can only watch one.
We were pretty interested in that first one that arrived. So but also this one was in the mail at the motel, so it could also be, sorry. So that's no decision from me.
It was a good summary.
I want to watch the first one because that's what got me to find the devices.
Okay.
Affirmation 04.
Here we go.
This room actually is nicer because it has 2 double beds. There's like 18 inches between them.
Oh, yeah.
And there is this weird, almost like a bespoke looking side end table that's like 12 inches wide in between, and the tiniest lamp. But There's 2 beds. So there's that short chair and the side table and 2 beds. How does everyone get situated for their movie night viewing?
I'm probably on the end of the bed, like closest to the TV.
Okay.
I will go with pillow, grab a pillow, and then like Crystal sitting on the end of the bed. Jordan will kind of grab the pillow under the chest, hug pillow, lay down with face kind of next to Crystal.
Sleepover situation, positioning, yeah. Megan?
And I am going to take one of my favorite spots, which is always going to be on the floor. So I'm going to sit on the floor, stretch out these long legs, pull my knees up. I am deliberately, like, if Crystal's legs are hanging over the side of the bed, like they're brushing up against the side of my body. So like I'm right on her.
That's what I thought too. Like one bed is empty and we're all huddled around this one spot on this one bed, slumber party style, and the other bed is fucking empty right now.
I love it. Megan, you're stretched out, but you do have to almost open your legs a little bit because you ram into the dresser.
Yeah.
It's just not that big. So you set up like that. Everyone's set up. During your cleaning montage, you did find the remote.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was underneath one of the beds. And so you press play and the static goes away. The blue screen comes up. TO flashing in the upper right. And it's dark outside. And there's a yellow light off the sodium lamp that's in the parking lot. And it's illuminating that pool. Remember, this is a U-shaped lodge, and there's a pool on the inner U area where your rooms are laid out. You are all on the first floor. You're on the last in the line of the documentary crew rooms. And that hum of the sodium lamp is suddenly loud enough for you all to hear. And for a second, it almost drowns out the sound of the incessant dripping.
Wow.
Dripping. And then Affirmation 04 starts to play. That tape, which refused to play earlier in your rental house, that tape, which rewound itself it starts to play just like normal. And as it begins, you realize it's an episode of a show, and you realize this because the title card shows up, and it's one of those painted title cards with 1980s style special effects where it's painted on glass. And so it's it's being held, and you can see just little bits of the hand that's holding it on either side. And it says Daily Affirmations with David Tilbert. And it opens with a shot of David seated on a couch in his living room. The room is tastefully decorated, sand-colored carpets, sand-colored wallpaper. There's a chair rail around it. Everything's very sort of neutral, brown, beige-ish, including David's outfit. He's wearing a neutral, sort of brownish sweater. He's got a button-up shirt underneath. The collar is just poking through just right, as it should be. He's staring directly into the camera. He's got a smile on his face. And a soundtrack featuring soothing piano music starts to plink in the background. This is an affirmation program that David Tilbert put out to empower viewers to seek out their own financial success. And David's desperately trying to convey that sense of financial success, easygoing positivity. This is the precursor to the gift phase or the wish phase and all of those, if you think it will come, series of books and programs. Megan, what do you see about his appearance that shows this desperate attempt to convey this?
Oh. Everything is pulling me towards cufflinks. Everything's pulling me towards the cufflinks, and it's interesting because depending on how the camera is, his wrists come in and out of view, but when they come into view, it's enough that if you know what you're looking for, there's something off about the cufflinks. The lie is unraveling from the point of the accessory jewelry that should establish him as something that he's not.
Jordan, what do you see in the scene? Maybe the furniture, the background, whatever, that also shows this desperation to portray financial success?
I think it's not necessarily, it's kind of the financial success piece, but he keeps doing things wrong, like in a harmful way. I'm picturing in my head that like the Mr. Rogers like coming home and he's getting dressed, he like comes home and then he like changes his jacket and he's like he's got these cufflinks and he's making sure that you see them so that he's successful, and he's like touring through his house. He has this lovely house, but he's doing things like putting his hand down on a hot stove and it's burning, but he's gritting through it, and he's talking to you, and there's steam and things like that. Like he accidentally puts his hand on a piece of glass, but he doesn't let it show in his voice, but his face shows pain.
And Crystal, who is the extra that sometimes shows up in scene?
Oh God.
Unintentionally, accidentally, but trying to clean up some of this mess as David is moving through and trying to introduce this in a very positive, effective way, and accidentally burning himself, accidentally cutting himself. What's the extra doing?
I picture that the extra is some like petite girl with like stringy black hair, but you don't actually see her face. Like you see her pop out of a corner or around a room and she like reaches for something, but her hair always falls in her face, so you can't like really see her.
Oh, yeah, it's possible she's just shy. Yeah. And she's also wearing a very old-fashioned dress. It's got that sort of lacy collar. It's buttoned up all the way. It's one piece. But he finally makes his way to sit down at his table where he always starts the show. There's a coffee table in front of him, a couple things. And Megan, the theme of today's affirmation is body positivity. What is David's message to his audience?
Really? This is 10 minutes after we just went through my bullying backstory? That is absolutely cruelty. What's the question you just asked me again? Is body positivity and what is what?
David's theme today for affirmations is body positivity. What is his message to the audience?
Oh, God. There's a way that he's assembling the words that should be very much embodying who you are and loving who you are and appreciating who you are because you're unique and there's only one you. That's the way it should be framed. But there's something about David that's not Daviding well. There's something about David that's not humaning well. There's something about the way that he puts together sentences and words that feel inspiring and empowering, but you actually have no idea what he's saying. For a moment there, this almost goes like those are English words, but they're being assembled backwards in a way that doesn't make sense. So you get an impression, but you don't actually walk away with an affirmation that you could say in the mirror to recite back to yourself.
And while he's doing that, the sort of Mr. Rogers, the great value Mr. Rogers smile never leaves his face.
Nope.
And his wardrobe is just almost but not quite uncanny valley Mr. Rogers. He should be warm and comforting, but everything about him is starting to not be. As you're trying to listen to this affirmation, and all three of you are, there's not, we don't have everything on subtitles yet because we didn't have to yet, but you're feeling like, man, this is a thing I wish I had subtitles to put on. I can't really quite understand. And maybe it's the mushiness because Jordan, something keeps leaking or crawling out of David's facial orifices, mouth, nostrils, maybe tear ducts, maybe ears. And it always takes him a couple moments to realize it's happening. What's going on? And what does David do when he finally notices there's something crawling out of his body that he needs to address?
Muted myself. David has had some sort of work done, but it's all falling apart now.
Oh.
So as stuff begins to leak, and that's one reason why you can't quite understand what he's saying, is because his mouth begins to droop on one side as stuff begins to leak out, and he can feel it, and he kind of catches it and starts to wipe it back up, but then the other eye starts to do the same thing, and he is trying to hold, and maybe that girl comes and even tries to give him bandages, and he's trying to hold as all of these start to leak more and more, and it seems there's not even that much fluid in the human body, as his nose is drooping now and his ears are flowing, and it almost looks like his face is melting, like his face itself is trying to remove itself from his body.
Oh my God, and this is while he's bragging and encouraging people on body positivity.
He's like, you can be anything that you want to be.
You are human. And
it's when he says, your beauty comes from inside, and no one can take that away from. And one of his teeth falls out.
Yep, it sure does.
And there's a knock on your door.
I scream.
And then
I cover Jordan. Because
like the mom's seatbelt.
Yeah.
I know. When you have to slam on the brakes and your mom puts her arm out.
Yeah. Megan's already on the floor, so I cover Jordan.
And then knock, knock, knock. Are you okay in there? And it's Derek's voice. Are you okay? You didn't call.
Son of a bitch, Derek.
Oh shit, we didn't call.
Oh my God.
Call, it's room 14. You can just room 14.
You said you would call. I just want to make sure you're okay.
I look at the TV and I look at the door. Is the video still playing?
Still playing. Yeah. He's moved on. He's got it's not a whiteboard. He's got a chalkboard now. And he's pointing out things. He's drawing on it. He's got a little pointer and he's pointing at things, but his hand is having a hard time gripping the pointer because his hand it seems to be almost rubbery and boneless. And now he's got his other hand that he's holding on to the first hand to make sure he can keep his grip. And and Derek says, I just want to check on you, make sure everything's okay. You were supposed to call and you didn't. So
No, come in here and see this. Do you remember this show?
Wait, Crystal, remember the whispers through the door. You remember?
Oh shit.
What if it's not Derek?
Remember whispers through the door? Remember? He was whispers through the door?
He's crazy like you guys are. I'm gonna get up and go to the door.
Crystal! I'm gonna reach out to her, but it's one of those things I miss her as I'm reaching out to her, just trying to give her a moment of pause.
And as you get to the door, Crystal, you can hear from the other side, quieter now. Through the crack in the door, you've got to be careful, Crystal. Jordan is dangerous. You've got to be careful. She believes all that stuff. She's going to hurt you, Crystal.
Okay, I'm looking through the peephole.
No one's there.
I turn around, I put my back up against the door and I turn around and look at them and I go, oh, fuck me.
What is it? Is he there? What's happening? Crystal.
Nobody's there and there are voices.
Well, that's what he said. He said he hears them and sees them outside.
This is not. No.
Does that mean Derek's dead?
I don't know, God. But it does mean he was right.
It's like,
and I'm looking at the TV again. Is it still on?
And the TV has gone black, but there's still sound. And Crystal, you get the sense that David thinks the camera's off, but it's still recording. And maybe it's just been, maybe a cover has been placed, maybe it's been turned towards something that doesn't show, but you can hear him. And he is angry. You hear him angrily chastising someone off screen. We know it's probably the assistant that we saw, but he is saying cruel and mean things. What's he saying to his assistant?
He's probably telling her that she didn't do a good enough job with his makeup. His wardrobe's a mess. It's her fault. He burnt himself, and she needs to do a better job. And can she take a shower every now and again?
And he's saying all of these things almost rapid fire that going back and back, and she's responding. But her voice, when she responds, Crystal, when you're hearing it, it is a swarm of angry hornets that have been disturbed from a nest. You don't hear any words. You just hear this angry buzzing, and it rises as she responds, and then it lowers down to just a buzzing susurration as he continues to heap abuse on his assistant. And then the buzzing begins, and then you start to hear these sounds of flesh slapping flesh, and the tape ends.
Do you remember that from TV Odyssey?
No.
Because
I don't know that I remember this show at all.
I definitely don't remember that.
Bees?
No, they were hornets. I know that doesn't matter. Sorry. I didn't mean to be an asshole about that.
Are there still whispers coming through the door? Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Silence.
Take it out. Take it out of the VCR.
And as you reach for it, it pops out on its own. Rewound.
Rewound, of course.
Kind of fuck this tape.
Yeah.
Who grabs the tape?
I will, and I'm gonna go put it in the corner where I saw the footprints.
Tiffany, why? Why?
Experiment. I have an experiment.
I'm dying inside.
And the tape itself is a little bit warm, but hey, sometimes they're warm after you play them in a VCR. VCR sometimes got warm. That's no big deal, right? And so you grab it. Do you put it back in the case, or you put it raw into the corner?
Oh, I'm gonna raw dog it in the corner.
Here we go, Bridgett.
I'm so happy.
The first raw dogging of a VHS tape, Symphony Entertainment 2024.
We saw it here. Thank you so much, Tiffany, for this delightful bullshit that we're about to experience.
And you take it and you put it down in the corner where those two footprints still are. And as you pull your hand away, your hand's a little bit moist. It's almost like the tape is sweating.
Ooh, is it? Ooh. I think the tape's melting.
Melting? No, we shouldn't destroy it. We should save it.
Well, you can try and save it, but it's moist.
I want to grab it. I don't want to destroy it. We can't destroy it.
It's clammy when you pick it up.
You would pay good money for this. No, we shouldn't destroy. There could be clues on here. We can't destroy it. We can't.
It wasn't destroying it. It's just it's melting.
Crystal, it's scared.
It's a tape. How is it scared?
It's wet. It's sweating. It's scared, Crystal. You put it in the corner. And you told me not to stand in the corner and look in the corner, and then you put the tape in the corner.
Well, the tape needs a corner. It was naughty.
The tape's in timeout right now. How many years old are you? That's how many minutes you can stare in the corner tape. No, it's fine. We can put it outside if you want in the car. But not in the corner.
Just put it in its case.
Okay. It's okay, tape. We're not gonna put you in the corner again.
You put it back in its case. Where are you keeping it otherwise?
I hate the idea of not keeping it in the room. I mean, it is weird. I sleep with it. It feels right.
Clutched like a teddy bear underneath your pillow. What's the...
I don't remember this. This is a key part of my childhood. I've come back to Deep Lake to examine this. I sleep with it probably under the pillow. Somewhere, I'm not clutching it, but my hand is touching it in the bed. And I don't necessarily want everyone to see it, but they would probably hear me. Maybe like I leave it on the nightstand in the middle of the night, I get to go to the bathroom, and I come back and I grab it off the nightstand and I get in bed and I shove it under my pillow and I sleep with my hand on it.
What about my collection? Are you also palming that one?
We haven't watched that one yet, so I don't think I would. I would just kind of leave it. I'm really concerned about this one.
Okay.
I'm not a hoard of VHS tapes. There's not that much around it. These tiny, thin motel pillows. So just the one tape.
There's 2 double beds. What are the sleeping arrangements of the 3 ladies?
Well, Jordan is dangerous. So
I didn't shoot anything today.
You're also like cuddling a creepy smut tape.
Smut tape? I don't know what I got from that, but it was not what you got from that.
Oh my God, we're all falling apart at the seams. I love it.
That's fine. Jordan's fine. It might be a thing too where like Crystal and Jordan are on the same bed, and then Jordan gets up and gets the tape and cuddles it, and Crystal gets up and goes and sleeps in Megan's bed.
Yeah.
That would I think would likely be the case. That might be the case, like, oh, this is weird. I'm gonna just go sleep over there.
Holy shit. Okay. Wow, this entire situation with the tape has Bridgett so disturbed. God, Miranda, this is so creepy. I'm gonna go hang out at the door. That sweet spot between where the door hinges and the following wall, that one. Like, where you know better than to put anything on the wall behind where that door shuts.
Corner. Yeah,
the corner where the doorstop is there for hotels that, latches out. I'm going to go hang out there with a blanket and a pillow. I am going to pull my knees up to my chest. And the one thing I am going to do is send an SMS over to Derek and just say, "Are you okay?"
And you press send. Jordan, you are cuddling up with your tape. Crystal, are you in the other bed then? Is that how this is laying out?
Probably. Yeah. I probably like laying across the foot of the bed so I can see the room and stuff.
And let's say that we move into uncomfortable and uneasy sleep. And Megan, you sent your text and your eyes are closing. You're trying to get comfortable, but you're still sort of amped up. And you get a notification, probably silent mode, because but your phone buzzes and you've got a new text.
I open it. I read it.
And it just says from Derek, "Come find out."
And then I'm going to send another text that says, "Do you hear that?"
And you wait, and you think there's not going to be a response. And then the dripping? Question mark? That's just in your room, period.
I'm going to stare at the face of my phone for a hard second with this creeping realization that I know that I'm not actually talking to Derek. And then I'm going to send one last text message, and it's, "We're all going to die, aren't we?" Question mark.
And you get a message back. At least a minute later. Feels like an hour because you are waiting for this. And it says, "Thank you for finding him." And the him, capital H, period. Crystal, the dripping noise of this room eventually sort of seeping into your brain, and you start timing your breaths with it. It's almost like a mantra that's coming over you as you're in room 14, the room that no guests will ever remain in overnight. And you have a dream. What does that dream consist of?
Probably, let's see. The dream I'm having is probably me going from room to room, just catching a glimpse of Megan or Jordan turning a corner. But then when I get to the room, nobody's there.
Ooh.
But then I'm looking for faucets and dripping. I think I hear rain, but then I see somebody run down a hallway. So then I try and follow them. But the dripping gets louder. But then when I think I find the faucet, it's down a different hallway.
And you find yourself in the dream back in the Motor Lodge waiting room, the office, and there was that little couch and chair area. And there is someone that looks like Daniel behind the desk, and he's standing. And when you open the door, you sort of come in, and you've got, maybe you're a little out of breath because you've been searching, you've been going room to room, and he turns towards you and he looks at you with classy, all black eyes, and he smiles. And he says, "Crystal." And he says your name in a way that doesn't feel familiar. It's like he's putting those words together in his mouth with teeth and tongue that he's borrowed. "Crystal, you don't have to search so hard. We're going to find you. You just wait and we'll be right there. Don't you worry, Crystal. Don't you worry. We're almost here for you. We're going to find you. We're going to find you, no problem. You light up. You're like a flare in the wilderness, Crystal. You light up." And as he's saying this, there's a light from within him that starts to grow and get brighter. And he says it again, "You light up." And we can't not chase that light. And it's getting brighter. And now it's hard to see his eyes because the light is shining so bright. And he says it a third time, and everything goes to white. And you wake up, and Jordan is clutching that tape. And as you look, you can see the tape case that she has. It shivers and shudders a little bit, and it jiggles just slightly in her grasp. And Jordan, You have wonderful, delightful dreams all night long. You're having your favorite foods, you're eating your favorite meals, you're visiting with friends that you haven't seen in a long time, and those visits are pleasant and wonderful and beautiful. And Jordan, you realize that there is nothing wrong within this world as long as you have your Odyssey tapes. And I need you to take a condition, Jordan. That condition is a tape head.
Got it.
And the sun comes up. It's dawn. And in the dawn phase, we answer dawn questions. We mark new elective dawn questions if you'd like, which means you can swap any of those questions other than that first one. And then there's some other stuff, but that other stuff doesn't apply to you yet, so we won't even go into it. But if you look at your latchkey character sheet, you chose 3 dawn questions. And so let's start on character sheet. Leftmost is Megan. Your dawn questions: did the latchkeys resolve a mystery? Did you go out of your way to reconnect with Deep Lake? And did you deliver a chilling monologue about something that happened to you in the past? Which one of those do you feel like, Megan, you achieved?
Is none of them an option?
It's an option. I would say you absolutely got. These are also meant to be, if any way we can check them, we check them.
We
kinds
check
of
them.
questions.
Okay, got it.
So that last one, absolutely. You know, maybe you don't think of it as a chilling monologue necessarily, but you brought that flashback was not pleasant and nice. Absolutely works for me. So
I'm good with that. If you'll let me have that one, I will 100% rock with that then.
And then, did you go out of your way to reconnect with Deep Lake? Do you think that happened?
I will arguably say yes. Especially with going out of the way with trying to reconcile things with Derek, Daniel trying to hit on a local in genuine compassion and interest. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you mark 2 dawn questions, which means that you pull 2 of those XP track points, and then you can choose to keep or change those dawn questions to anything you want.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's up to you. Jordan, were you vulnerable with someone, and did you cut loose for once? Those are your 2 dawn questions.
Yeah, I don't think Jordan cut loose for once. But I do feel like there were moments of vulnerability with Jordan.
Would you argue the singing was cutting loose?
I was thinking that more as a vulnerability. But
you were going, gotcha, okay.
That might be coming from Miranda being vulnerable and not cutting loose, but...
I am perfectly happy to blur those lines if you think that gets you 2 of those points. Again, this is the most most we can do to check those boxes.
Yeah, I would feel bad checking the box for cutting loose because I did not cut loose.
So, then 1.
I was vulnerable though.
And same with you. You can choose different dawn questions. Crystal, did you go out of your way to reconnect with Deep Lake, or were you vulnerable with someone? Those are your 2 dawn questions you chose.
I do think that I went out of my way to reconnect by insisting on the tapes because I wanted to remember the shows.
Mm-hmm.
As far as being vulnerable, I don't think so. That's not really Crystal's jam. I mean, I hope, but I mean, maybe because she admitted the door, the whispers, which she probably would have normally kept to herself. I don't know. She did get paranoid, though, with everybody and let them know.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe a little bit.
Weird stretch. Does Crystal typically touch people? Is Crystal one of those individuals that doesn't like to be touched?
I think she's just awkward with any kind of affection. Like, she doesn't know what to do.
That's fair. That's fair. No, I was just thinking because there's been an excessive amount of, hey, let's hug, let's hold hands, let's be near you, let's sleep in the same bed. I didn't know whether you could stretch that for vulnerability for her norm.
I'm good with 2. I think the paranoia and being open about that and then refusing to have that fixed. I mean, that felt like dope. A vulnerable moment. Yeah. So I think 2 is great. And then same thing. If you want to change those, just any of the different ones in the drop down, feel free.
Okay.
And here we are in a day phase. The morning dawns fresh and clear. It is now, oh geez, let me look at it's the 7th. Dates are the
it's June 7th, unless you're June messing 7th. With time.
Nope. June 7th, 2004. You have within Crystal in your portable GPS, your Garmin box or whatever it is, you have the location given to you by Derek. Birds have started to sing outside. The sun is rising into another beautiful day within that perfect vacation land, which we know is Deep Lake. And I think that's where we're going to leave these latchkeys for now. And we will see what they do with this day of open possibility in front of them next time.
And that, friends of the Symphony, is where this show ends for tonight. My hands are so wet. My nervous system is so amped right now. Thank you so much to everyone who joined in or is currently watching the replay. You are indeed the best part of waking up, and we sincerely appreciate you. Again, if you enjoyed this content, please consider backing us on Patreon at patreon.com/Symphony Entertainment. And we're just going to do a quick roundtable one more time where people can tell us who you are and where we can find you. Miranda, hit us.
Yep, I'm Miranda. You can find me over on the Old Ways podcast on Delta Green, or if you listen back to Horror on the Orient Express or any of the They Came From things that I ran last year. You can also find me over on some of the Miskatonic Playhouse streams, and hopefully I'll be doing more gameplay and such there. And that's it. And look forward to Roll Better, which is me and Nate's upcoming podcast.
I can't wait. Tiffany, hit us, baby.
I am also from the Old Ways podcast. We did have a VTM game where I also played with Bridgett, which is why I'm here now. And you can go check out my art at Color Cat Designs on Etsy. And then hopefully I'll be in more places doing more things. So thanks for coming.
Oh, listen, Miss, let's take the baby to the corner. I'll save that rant for the talk back. Nate, tell us. I hate you so much for this shit right now, Tiffany. Nate, hit us, baby, who you are, where we can find you.
I'm Nate, your friend Nate on the Discords. I play Elliot Winters in our Impossible Landscapes campaign over at the Old Ways. We also just released part 1 of 2 of a little Electric State one-shot that we put together using the alpha rules that came out of the Kickstarter. Really sweet game system out of Free League, as Free League often does. It's one of these alternate paths that didn't quite happen, but man, it could have. And so that was a lot of fun. And you see me around and about doing this kind of stuff, creating stories. I love building and creating and telling stories with friends. And so this is wonderful.
Oh, Symphony. We hope you've enjoyed the Symphony, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Mwah, have a wonderful night.